thank you both. Together, an alert to our broadcast partners, we might run just a bit over 9 o'clock, but we want to allow sufficient time for each candidate to have a closing remark. So Senator Franken, perhaps we'll start with you, and we allow 2.5 minutes to each of you to wrap us up this morning.
Okay, well, thank you, and thank you for hosting this debate, and I want to thank Mr. McFadden for being here, and for mentioning that Franny and I are having our 39th wedding anniversary. Franny is right there. We've been married, tomorrow we'll be married 39 years, many of them happy. You know, we were blessed 16 months ago with a grandson. My grandson, Joe, who's named for my dad. He lives in Washington. My daughter and her husband live there, and she works doing heading up the after-school programs at some DC elementary schools. And one of the things I get to do is go over after a day of work and put my grandson to bed. And when he's asleep in the crib, I look at him and think about all the possibilities for this kid. And his parents love him, they're well educated, he's gonna do fine. And I think about when I grew up in St. Louis Park, my dad didn't graduate high school. My mom didn't go to college. My dad was a printing salesman. We lived in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath rambler, a very common post-World War II built home. I felt like the luckiest kid in the world, because I was. I thought the world was my oyster, and it was. I could do anything I want. I think a lot of kids don't feel that way anymore. And I want to make sure that every kid in Minnesota feels that way. That they have a shot. And that they can bet on themselves. And that they have the opportunity to get a good job. And to put a roof over their family's head, and put food on the table, and have access to quality health care. And be able to go on a vacation. And have a secure retirement, that their pension will be there, that Social Security will be there. That's what I want. I want Minnesotans to bet on themselves. And I know if we bet on ourselves, I know the people of Minnesota, and if we bet on ourselves, we have great innovators, we have great entrepreneurs, we have great research universities. We can do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McFadden, final word?
Thank you.
First of all, thank you to the moderators. You've done a phenomenal job. I want to thank Al Franken. I really appreciate your time today. I think it's important that Minnesotans have a chance to hear about both our visions for our country and for our state. I want to thank the audience. The audience has been great. I really appreciate it. You've been very respectful. And this is really an important part of the democratic process, that we're able to come together and have discourse. And it's sorely lacking in this country. I'm running for the U.S. Senate because we can do better. I want to go forth and set the world on fire. I'm running for my 6 kids. I'm running for the Minnesotans that I've met around this great state, who fundamentally believe that this country is not going in the right direction. They don't believe that President Obama is leading us in the right direction. And I am running against Al Franken, who has voted with the president 97% of the time. He's the most partisan senator in the Democratic Party. And there is a very clear contrast between the two of us. There's not a lot of gray areas. Al Franken is for more government. He's for more regulation. He's for high-cost energy. He's for Obamacare. He's for the status quo in an education system that doesn't work for some of our most vulnerable citizens. I have a much different vision. I'm for effective and efficient government. I'm for smart regulation. I'll get the mines open. That's a promise. I'm for low-cost energy. I will build pipelines. I'm for a healthcare system that works for all our citizens, that's first class, that is run based here in Minnesota, not by the federal government. And I'm for radically revising the the education system in the inner city. I make a promise to each and every one of you here in this room today that as your next senator from the great state of Minnesota, I won't be invisible. I will not keep my head down. I will keep my head high. I will lead. I have a plan. I will be independent. I will go to Washington to do something, not to be something. I will fight for you. My name's Mike McFadden. I'm running for the U.S. Senate. I'd love to have your vote on November 4th. Thank you.
Thank you very much.